Hi, I'm Deborah Richardson from Tin Teddy, and today I'm going to show you a comparison of the Blythe Petite doll and the Littlest Pet Shop Blythe dolls that are currently available in the shops. Here are the two dolls next to each other, and as you can see, they're about the same height and very similar. So you might be wondering exactly what is the difference between a Blythe Petite and a Little Pet Shop Blythe. This is the Blythe Petite doll. This particular one is called Samedy Marsh. And this is the Littlest Pet Shop doll from the pack known as Pinwheels and Daisies. Okay. First of all, price. There's quite a difference in their price. Here is the box and contents for the Petite Blythe doll. This particular doll sells for around £20 to £25. You can find them cheaper if you look around. This is probably the cheapest of all the Petite Blythes. Some of the more limited editions are considerably more expensive. Here is the box and contents of the Littlest Pet Shop Blythe. This particular set is currently on sale for £12.99. I actually got this one in a discount store for considerably less. Some of the other Littlest Pet Shop Blythe sets are slightly more expensive and some are slightly less. So here's our two dolls together. The first thing you'll notice is they are exactly the same size and they do look very similar to each other. So what actually is the difference? Here we have the Takara Blythe Petite. The first thing you'll probably notice is as I tip her, you can see her eyes open and shut because the camera's up in the air. You'll see in the shut position. This is a feature of the latest Blythe Petites. Some of the very early ones didn't do this. The Littlest Pet Shop doll, I just take her specs off, her eyes are just fixed in place and they don't open and close or do anything. So that's probably the most instantly spottable difference. Let's have a look at their heads. Here we have, let's take her hat off. Here we have the Takara Petite Blythe again, and her head is made of two distinct pieces of plastic. In fact, you can perhaps see the seam running up here by her ear. It's a hard plastic, very similar to that used on the full-size Blythes. And at the back of her head, she's got a very inelegant screw hole, and she also has writing saying that she is in fact a Petite Blythe. Here's the Pet Shop doll. Take her hat off too. Her face is a single moulding. There's no seam. It's all perfectly smooth, and it's made of a rubbery vinyl. I can almost squeeze it. Yeah, just about. It's quite stiff, but it's still a distinctly rubbery feel to it. Not at all like full-size Blythes. If we look on the back of her head, excuse me here, she's got a lot of hair. Ooh, there we go. Her head, there's no screw hole. That little black blob you can see there is in fact a number, which I assume is her model number. I have got one Littlest Pet Shop Blythe who hasn't got a number on the back of the head, so clearly they don't all have it, but I think most of them do. There's no other writing on the back here. It's completely smooth. So the heads are quite different. We're now going to strip them. The shame of it, eh? Boom, boom, boom. Just take off things. You'll notice that the Petite Blythe had the little over shirt. I'm now taking off her little blouse, or a little t-shirt, and she has a pair of rather nice little jeans, even got little stitched pockets. Oh, we'll take those off if we can. It's quite noticeable that the Petite Blythe's clothes are very good quality. She also came in the set as well. There was a little apron. There's the little apron with a little apple theme too, and a little apple themed bag. Okay, so her clothes are very good quality. Here is the Littlest Pet Shop Blythe. She was wearing a rather sweet crocheted hat. She has a single piece dress, just velcroed up the back. It's somewhat cheaper made than the Petite Blythe. I think it's, again, quite noticeably cheaper. So here we have two naked dollies to compare. Now you can see their bodies are nearly pretty much identical. It'd be very hard pushed to see many differences. They both have their underpants painted onto their body. She's got a little flower on the back of hers, and the Petite Blythe's got a little apple. They've both also got their footwear. The Littlest Pet Shop has got little detachable shoes. They're very tiny and easy to lose, but her socks are painted on. The Petite Blythe has got her whole shoes painted on. The biggest difference between their bodies is the legs. If we look at the Little Pet Shop Blythe, her legs are completely rigid and don't bend in the middle. They can bend like this, and so she can sit down, but they don't bend in the middle. On the Takara Petite Blythe, she can bend her legs for more positions. There are a few other little differences. For example, their hands. This might be a bit tricky to show you because they're very small. I don't know if you can see that the Takara Blythe, this one, has got a considerably smaller hand, and it's also more finely moulded. The fingers are more clearly defined on it. Whereas the Little Pet Shop Blythe's hands, a little bit bigger, a little bit more sort of smudged, not quite so neatly defined. Okay, so we'll just have a quick look at the boxes that they both come in. Here is the box for the Petite Blythe. It's quite a simple box with the apple theme again, and details about where she's made and how she's made. And it has a little hanger thing that sort of pulls out, presumably to be hung up in the shop. So it's quite simplistic packaging. The Little Petite Blythe also came with a stand. It's a rather odd design of stand because her feet just have to sort of clip under this plastic. There we go, like that. It's not the most stable of stands, I have to say. It does the job. Here is the box for the Pet Shop Blythe. I have to say I'm quite shocked at how large this box is for what is actually quite a small doll. There she is compared to the size of the box. A little bit of overkill there, I think, Hasbro. She also had a little doggy in there. There it is, a little wobbly-headed dog in a matching crocheted hat. That's quite cute, isn't it? Again, typical toy box with details of her model number and so on, and nice little pictures. So that's the box for the Little Pet Shop Blythe. Her stand is far more like a full-size Blythe doll's stand, with the flower shape and the little hook that goes around her waist. There we go. I find these a bit fiddly. Yep, I'm just going to fall off. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of dolly stands. They very rarely seem to work. There we go, and she's on her little stand, and she's going to fall off again. Ta-da! So that's the other difference. The stands are quite significantly different. Now, because they are the same size, they can share their clothes. So I'm assuming she'll fit. Yeah, there we go. So the Petite can wear, well, not very well actually, but she can try and wear the Pet Shop doll's glasses. Back on her. So they can share clothes. The Petite Blythe dolls tend to have much better clothes. Here's another example of a Petite Blythe doll. Japanese blossom doll. And again, you can see her clothes are quite nice. She has the little silky kimono and a little pleated skirt. She has her boots completely painted on. A little hairband. And here is another one of the Littlest Pet Shop Blythes. This is the Winter Fun one. She's quite sweet. She has a very simple coat on, and you can see her body's actually completely red. It's actually painted red to make her underclothes. She also has her legs are painted dotty to make her tights. her hat off because it's falling off. And she has a pair of rather adorable little skates on that do come off. You can just about get the Little Pet Shop shoes onto the Petite Blythes. It's a bit of a squeeze, but they do just about go. And she also has a little woolly hat. And she also came with her own dog. There he is. And she had a dog on a lead. Like that. So, basically, all in all, some people feel that the Pet Shop Blythes are not proper Blythes and should be shunned. And some people feel that they're a great introduction to the world of collecting Blythes. I rather like all of my little dolls, and of course if you've got a Petite Blythe doll house or a little scene set up for them, they can of course all fit in together beautifully and play together very well. So the actual difference in price, if you were to buy these particular play sets for this particular Blythe and this one, I say they are retailing at about the £13 mark, whereas you can get Somebody Marsh, I saw her on eBay, she's currently available on eBay for about £15. So there isn't that much difference in the prices at the basic level. There are of course many more Petite Blythes to choose from than Little Pet Shop Blythes, but Hasbro are continuously adding to the range. So ultimately it's up to you, whichever you prefer. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this short comparison of two different types of Blythe doll. For more videos, tutorials and lots of things to do, why not check out www.tinteddy.com. Bye!